Hi, it's Robin Michelle Birdsong, Part 4 of the BBC documentary King James Bible. The narrator says, I'm no churchgoer, but I'm no atheist either. I am drawn just as much to the richness of the ceremony as to the holiness of the plain and simple. But with this Bible, there's no need to choose between them. Both are as absorbed in it, and that is why its words are still alive, why they're still a vehicle for meaning when little else can be. And for me, that is the miracle of the King James Bible. Note from Eve, I certainly agree that it's still a relevant book today. Okay, so that's the end of the clues about the documentary. The next piece is about Charlemagne, Singh Birdsong. Charlemagne was a fierce warrior. You're looking at a picture of Singh Birdsong, okay? He was a fierce warrior and went into the battlefield conquering all of Europe. Although he seemed like a tyrant, he enforced strict reforms which in a way made a common identity amongst all people across Europe, from Germany to Spain. Charlemagne eventually became the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Singh Birdsong, President Harry S. Truman, was the Emperor Charlemagne, and the Guru Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh Ji of Sikh heritage. June 26, 2018, How Charlemagne Changed the World. Byzantine Conference, Byzantology, the study of the Eastern Roman Empire. When we think of Rome, we think of Caesar, Augustus, Mark Antony, and Cleopatra, who has been reborn as Melanie Speer, the explorer Christopher Columbus, A1, the first girl in the world, first girl child of Adam and Eve. But you would be remiss if you didn't think of King Charlemagne or Charles the Great, now Singh Birdsong. In the last 5th century, when the Roman Empire split in half, the western part became the Byzantine Empire, which became a cultural phenomenon, while the eastern half fell into the chaos of warring city-states with no central government. Charlemagne was born during the Dark Ages and became king of Lombards, a Frankish state in which would be Germany around 768 AD. Charlemagne was a fierce warrior and went onto the battlefield conquering almost all of Europe. Although he seemed like a tyrant, he enforced strict reforms which in a way made a common identity amongst all people across Europe from Germany to Spain. He put the entire continent on the same currency, which expanded trade immensely. He was also a big advocate of education and encouraged everyone to learn in Latin. Now all of Europe was connected by currency and a language. Charlemagne eventually became the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. His goal was to reunite both halves of the empire and take control over the Byzantine Empire. How the two empires made peace rather than fight a war. Charlemagne received the Istrian Peninsula, while the Byzantine Empire could stay the Byzantine Empire. During this time, he sparked what is known as the Carolingian Renaissance, where arts and culture flourished in Western Europe. However, besides being a rival to that of the Byzantines, he was also a rival with Irene of Athens, the empress of the Eastern Roman Empire. This feud led to the Great Schism of 1054, where Constantinople was no longer affiliated with Rome. How did Charlemagne Singh Birdsong help spread Christianity? Charlemagne spent the early part of his reign on several military campaigns to expand his kingdom. He invaded Saxony in 772 and eventually achieved its total conquest and conversion to Christianity. As a token of thanks, Leo crowned Charlemagne on Christmas Day that year, declaring him Emperor of the Romans. How did Charlemagne Singh Birdsong help society? He embarked on a mission to unite all Germanic people into one kingdom and convert his subjects to Christianity. A skilled military strategist, he spent much of his reign engaged in warfare in order to accomplish his goals. In 800, Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne, now Singh Birdsong, Emperor of the Romans. How did Charlemagne's rule affect Europe? His support of the Roman Catholic Church brought unity to much of the continent, which culminated with his coronation as the Holy Roman Emperor in 800 by Pope Leo III. Charlemagne Singh Birdsong was an emperor of Rome who ruled most of Western Europe and became king of the Franks, and with him begins the history of modern Europe. He promoted education and modern farming techniques and encouraged the Carolingian Renaissance. This made economic and religious reforms and created the modern European alphabet. Decoded. Alpha, A for atom, and B, E for Eve energy, T for talk, S for share. Alpha atom and B, Eve energy, talk and share. Keeping folks sane. Talk and share keeps you sane, okay? Why was Charlemagne important in medieval Europe? Charlemagne Singh Birdsong, or Charles the Great, was king of the Franks between 768 and 814 and emperor of the West between 800 and 814. He founded the Holy Roman Empire. This blew my mind. Charlemagne founded the Holy Roman Empire. Isn't that something? He began it. Just as now we, i.e. Jesus Christ, the Buddha, Supreme Commander, Allied Forces General, later President Dwight David Eisenhower. You see, I'm talking about Gurinder Singh was also Supreme Commander Dwight David Eisenhower. Okay, and Eve, daughter of the Son and wife of Jesus Christ, founded the Holy Royal Family. You see that? Jesus Christ and his wife founded the Holy Royal Family of humans, saints, and geniuses currently, which includes Azura, youngest child of Adam and Eve, Robin Michelle Birdsong is her name now, King James of England, Legacy, the King James Bible, is the most important book ever written in the English language. That's a huge legacy, right? That's what Azura gave us. Included in the Holy Royal Family of humans is Adam, husband of Eve, who was Sinatra, Elvis, the Beatle George Harrison, projection of Michael Jackson, Sam Cooke, Jesse Belvin, and Ray Charles, is now Michael Buble. You get that? Adam is now Michael Buble. International singer-songwriter sensation. And Christopher Columbus is also in the Holy Royal Family of humans, the explorer who found a potential heaven on earth for Queen Isabella, who was de Michelle Birdsong, America. Still the best place on earth, where people all over the world are risking life and limb to get in, legally or illegally. Columbus, now Melanie Speer, now mother of 4 prior saints. Co-found Swamiji, great saint of Agua, now Seth Wynn Ranziger, the co-founder of Santamat, with Aria and de Michelle Birdsong. Aria is in de Michelle Birdsong's womb right now. Saint Baba Jamal Singh, founder of the Dara, now Gurinder Singh Dillon, who projected himself as Robin Michelle Birdsong, Miss Frog, the Michelle Birdsong's mother and granddaughter. Jindar is my granddaughter. One of the greatest saints of all time, poet Saint Mirabai, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., now Lou Ranziger, and the fourth child and saint of Mother Melanie L. Speer is Saint Kabir, a 15th century Indian mystic poet and saint, whose writings, according to some scholars, influenced Hinduism Bhakti movement. Kabir's verses are found in Sikhism's